Hello there my good friends, thanks for clicking on my video. I hope you're all healthy and well, that's the main thing. I don't think there's even any point going over today's race. That's 2 days in a row pulled off blanks and I was going so well, but never mind. Things will pick up. To just the meetings, it's so hard with the ground. I can't keep blaming the ground, but I mean, you had a 400 to 1 second there today, and you had 150 to 1 second. You know what I mean? They were favourites 7th, 8th, 10th down the line, and a 400 to 1 finishing second. You all know that's racing, that's the way it goes. We won't whinge or moan about it. We'll keep going. We'll keep going until we break those bookies. Okay, so stick with me. Couple of bad days, don't worry about it. But I never pulled off for blank. My God, that was bad. Not even a placed horse. There's some 10 horses. Not even a placed horse. Be the whole this St. Mackerel. I don't know what's going on. Perhaps I'm studying too hard. I'd say that's the problem. The last couple of weeks have been absolutely brilliant. And I don't think I studied as hard. But anyway, look, forget about it. 2 bad days, we'll move on. We'll start upping the ante again, as they say. I'll stick to the same bets. The each way hinds, the patent, and my nap. That's 10 horses again. Now I was going to switch them around. I might do tomorrow night. Instead of doing an each way hinds, 6 horses, I might put in 6 fancied horses. In other words, not an each way hinds, a straight hinds. And I might do an each way painted. Switch them around a bit, you know what I mean? Because trying to pick out 6 horses each way, I mean, I picked out 6 very, they were well fancied horses today that I picked out in the hinds. And not one of those horses were placed. I think 2 of them finished 5th. It's tough, but we'll give it another go. We'll give it another go. Right, we'll move on to tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the 10th of June. And I just said I stick to 2 meetings again. I picked out Limerick and I picked out Kempton. Right? So the first horse in the each way hinds, now like I said, if you do a 20 cents each way hinds, it is €22.80. Excuse me. If you do a 10 cents each way hinds, it's only €11.40. Now it sounds nothing, 10 cents each way. But most of you know, you could hit the jackpot with that small little bit. So anyway, look, we'll move on tomorrow. The first horse in the hinds is at Limerick in the 5:13. And I've picked out number 11. Femme Beauty. Now I never in my life heard of a jockey, a £10 claimer. Max Pop on. Anyway, for Kevin Condon. Number 11 in the first race is 7 to 1, paying 5 places. So the second Second horse in my hinds is in the 650. These are all handicaps now I picked out. They're all paying 4 and 5 places. The second horse is in the 650 at Limerick. And I've picked out number 3, Hexagonal. Joey Sheridan for Declan Hogan. 1 mile handicap, 19 declared to run. So number 3, Hexagonal. You know the horse, number 3. Should be able to pronounce that, no bother. I like Loop de Vega horses. Number 3 is 8 to 1. Right, that's the second horse. The third horse in the hinds is also at Limerick. And it's in the 750, which is a 7 furlong handicap. And I've went for number 6, Exceeding. Lots of claimers in this race as well, claiming jockeys. I went for number 6, trained by one of my favourite trainers, Andrew Slattery. Orla Tyran, claiming 7. But anyway, number 6, Exceeding, is 8 to 1. And then for the fourth leg of the hinds, I stayed in Limerick for the 820, the last race. And I went for number 4, Good on you, mate. Crikey. What's your favourite colour, blue? Good on you, mate. Another £7 claimer. They're all over Limerick tomorrow night, but that's not giving them a bad name. They win races, these claiming jockeys. I went for number 4, Good on you, mate. It's a 2 mile 1 handicap, 16 runners, 4 to 5 places, trained by Henry de Bromhead, the one and only Waterford man. And I think he's only bringing a couple to Limerick tomorrow. But anyway, number 4 in the 820 is 7 to 1. Okay, that's 4 horses in the hinds. And the last 2 I went to Kempton Park. I went to the 640, which should be a handicap. Yes, a 1 mile handicap, paying 4 places. So the 5th horse is number 10 in our hinds. Safi Osborne for Brian Millman. A string of seconds there. Very unlucky last time. Oh my God, I'm after spotting a horse down the bottom. My Boy Harry. My Boy Harry, number 14. I can't go back on it now. So the 5th leg of the hinds is the 640 at Kempton, number 10. And he is 6 to 1. I'll be budding if My Boy Harry wins. The last horse in the hinds, the 6th horse, is in the 840 at Kempton. The 840, the last race. And I went down the bottom to number 14. I like this horse. I actually like this horse. David Egan for Jay Butler, number 14 in the 840. You think so? I'll call it you think so. You think so. Shut up, Kenny. You know the horse, number 14. He is 8 to 1. Right, that's tomorrow's hinds covered. And like I always say, bet small, we'll try and win big. We will get there. All this bad weather is going to pass. And I did also tell you when I started this horse tipping that I hate midweek racing. Always follow me the weekends. Yeah, I just gave you number 14, 8 to 1. Friday, Saturday and Sunday is my main days for horse racing. Right, we'll move on to my paintings. And I went back to Limerick. 11 minutes. This is going to be short enough, lads. It's just coming up to 12 o'clock. The first horse of my paintings is a 7:20 at Limerick. Now, like I said, I might switch them around tomorrow night and do a straight hinds and an each way paintings. We'll see. We'll see what Thursday's racing is like. So in the 7:20 at Limerick, the first horse of my paintings, I went for number 1, James Henry. Gavin Ryan for Owen McCarthy. Gordon Elliott have a few out in Limerick tomorrow. His horses are hitting form. Now he have a thing there with a heap of 9s and 0s. Number 2. I'd stick to number 1, James Henry. That's the first leg of my paintings. 7:40 in Limerick, number 1. James Henry, 4 to 1. The second horse of my paintings, I stayed in Limerick and went back to the 6:20. And never mind the last 2 days' results, lads. You have to have a blowout now and again. You can't keep it up. I keep saying that to you. I'm not a professional. But I forgot to mention at the start of the video. The subs, the likes, beautiful comments. I'm delighted with them. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. You're lovely people. And I hope to go for a walk tomorrow. I think the rain is starting to clear a bit, but I didn't get a chance to go up the riverbank with the last week or so. And I have a very, very true story to tell you about a certain part of that riverbank that happened about 35 years ago. Probably 40 years ago. I'm only 55. I was about 15 or 16 at the time. You will laugh your arse off when I tell you this, but I'm not going to tell you in the horse video. I'm going to go for a nice walk up along the riverbank, the Blue Way they call it, and show you the place that I'm on about. We'll get to that in the lovely walk-through video, as they call them, of my local river. Sorry now, the second horse in my paintings is the 6:20 in Limerick, and that's number 10. Reese Houlihan riding for R.P. Cody. Monvoo, number 10, Monvoo, in the 6:20 at Limerick. And Monvoo is 3 to 1 favourite. The third horse of my paintings, I can't believe I didn't even get a placed horse on my painting on last night's video, but that's the way it goes. Where am I? I went back to Kempton for the third horse of my painting, and I went to the 7:40. I didn't. I went to the 7:10. So I didn't pick out 2 horses in the same race as I did in last night's video, and I still couldn't get a stop. I don't know what's going on. The third horse in the paint in the 710 at Kempton is number 4. Maringo Storm, William Buick for Richard Hughes. Now let me explain something to you. I done a lot of studying, not on these videos I'm making. I done a lot of studying on Richard Hughes. Richard Hughes have some serious horses for next week at Royal Ascot. I have them all wrote down. So hopefully next week will be a banger. The third horse in my paint into 710 at Kempton is number 4, Maringo Storm. And Maringo Storm is 5-2 favours. Okay, so that's my Hines 6 horses and my paintings 3 horses covered. Now lads, you don't have to bet every day. You know the story. During the week I'm more than less testing my form. And you see what I can, you're after seeing what I can do the weekends. Right? Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Think about it. But it's nice to get the views and the comments. And make a video every night during the week. Just to keep things going. Yeah, I gave you my painting, I gave you my Hines, and now I stayed at Kempton for my nap. My nap is in the 7:40 at Kempton Park. It's tomorrow evening, Wednesday. And it's horse number 6. See, this horse hit me in the face straight away. Big Harry. Kieran Schumacher for Willie Stone. But I didn't spot the other Harry horse that I mentioned earlier. I have a 10-year-old son, Harry. He lives with his mother. And I always back a horse when I see his name. I told you that story about my first 4 kids. I done the lucky 15. That was, I stopped. I was out of this world. But my nap for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 10th of June, is in the 7:40 at Kempton. Big Harry. And Big Harry is 3-1. 3-1 fav. So, that's it, my friends. 10 horses again.
The Final Furlong podcast is presented by 1xBet Ireland with over 7,000.
Shut up. I have a wicked habit of watching the Final Furlong. It's a brilliant podcast. The Final Furlong podcast. I'd recommend it to anyone. They're kind of going over next week's horses at Royal Ascot. Now they're fairly good. They throw out a few winners. But anyway, that's the 10 horses for tomorrow at Limerick and Kempton. And hopefully, with the help of God, we'll do a bit better than today. But you don't have to back them. Just watch them and watch the results. You don't have to have a bet every day, lads. Even though I had a bet yesterday and I couldn't find the docket on last night's video, but I found it today. I won't have a bet now till Saturday. I'll have a nice bet Saturday. I think Sandown and York is on. So there'll be some decent racing on Saturday. But stay with me and have a on to yourselves. And once again, thanks for the views, the subs and the comments. Right? We'll get there. We will get there. Forget about the 2 bad days I'm after having. Forget about them. Everyone has them. When you're getting 400 to 1 seconds, come on, like, and 150 to 1 seconds. That's what happened yesterday. Anyway, look, I kept you long enough. Good night and God bless. Stay safe. Gamble responsibly. Only bet what you can afford. And never, ever, ever chase your money when you're down. Never. That's it for now. Kenny from Tipperary. I'll talk to you tomorrow evening again. I'll make one a day as promised. God bless you all. Kenny from Tipperary over and out. Good night and God bless.